Holly Dutton. I'm a senior associate editor with CPE and MHN, and we're here live at the Crew 2018 Convention and Marketplace. And I'm with Amanda Bogner, the president and founder of Energy Studio, and she is the 2018 Entrepreneurial Spirit Award winner. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
2 years ago, she just made the decision to eliminate 40% of the company's revenue in exchange for more fulfilling work. So tell me, cutting out nearly half the revenue, of your business seems counter to what business is about. So
yeah, so what
tell me
caused
how
me to
you
do that,
decided to do
right?
that.
So the work that we had started doing, we focus on making buildings more energy efficient, and that core competency is energy modeling. So something that's really important to showing co-compliance, achieving LEED certification. There's a variety of ways or reasons we would do energy modeling in a building. But when I started the company, looking for sort of consistent revenue in a startup, I took a contract with the U.S. Green Building Council to do LEED review work. So they contract third-party reviewers to review all the applications for LEED certified projects. And so it certainly was aligned with the work that we wanted to do and related to, but it was a slog. So, we would get 10 projects a week to review, and we would have a very short amount of time that we'd have to return that work, and it just it was boring. It was tedious. We got to a point doing that for several years that we weren't really expanding our energy modeling services, which is where we wanted to grow, so looking at a SWOT analysis, we realized that LEED certifications or LEED registrations were on the decline, and we started to get really worried about that for not that current month's work, but what was going to happen to the LEED rating system in years to come, and would we be able to really rely on that revenue source consistently? So we took the proactive approach to say, we need to scale back on how much we're relying on this revenue to run our company. That will give us the opportunity to grow the business that we actually want to be doing. And it was almost like that consistent revenue source allowed us to grow to a certain level, but then in order to continue growth and really maintain relationships with our clients and maintain an employee engagement, we really needed to propel ourselves forward beyond just that LEED review effort.
How did people in the company react, when you
They were
told them your plan?
overjoyed. So, it was not the work that we really, no one was on fire, what's that, freaking out with joy to do LEED review work on a daily basis. You would see interesting projects and there would be interesting challenges with it, but it wasn't setting everyone's heart on fire with that work. And so, when we made the decision, and it was a long decision, we had to really analyze to make sure that we weren't going to put our company at risk from a financial standpoint. I still need to be able to pay everyone every month, right? So, but when we realized that we could do that, we could plan out the escape hatch, then everyone was really overjoyed that we were working in that direction.
And they were on board.
And they were on board from day one, for sure.
Great. You're not just still in business, but you're growing. How did you make that happen?
So, part of that transition process was definitely reaching out to our clients, reaching out to the groups that we were doing reviews for, and saying, this is what our plan is. We want you to be partners in this plan. Sort of putting it out there to the universe of what we want to be doing. And as soon as we started to, say this is the type of projects we want, this is the type of work we want to do, and we'll continue to still do it at the high level that you've come to expect from everything else that we've done for you, then those projects have come in the door. I also think that with the sort of the growing trend in more stringent energy codes, that certainly opened up other markets for us. So states like Texas and Michigan and other states have adopted a more rigorous energy code, and design as usual is no longer possible for architecture and engineering teams to do. And so they need to be proactive about determining determining how much energy their building's using when they're in those design phases so that they know they can pass code when those permit documents are prepared. So that's certainly, the timing of all those things really was nice.
Yeah. So what made you decide to run, and what do you hope to do if you win?
Sure. So in Nebraska, we have a really interesting scenario with our power companies. Nebraska only allows public utilities. We're the only state in the country that's 100% public utility. And so we have a few public utilities across the state, but the Omaha Public Power District serves the majority of the population that's in Nebraska. So it's Omaha and surrounding areas, which is the largest city in Nebraska. That board is an elected position, and I was approached by a couple different people when the seat became open last year. And they said, you know, based on your background and what you're really interested in doing, we think you should run for the board. And I had 3 different people from different parts of my life say the same thing. And I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. And so I started thinking about what we're doing at Energy Studio, and those conversations of, you know, that the amount of energy that's being used in Omaha doesn't really matter, you know, if you want to say that. And I'm thinking, well, maybe with this opportunity I can put that in the forefront of how much power are we using, and are we using it in the most efficient way? Are we generating it in the most efficient way? And so really started to dig into that position, and what the board of directors does is they set the strategic vision for the public utility. So certainly, you know, energy cost, that's a board decision. What are the rates, and how much are we charging our ratepayers, both residential and commercial and industrial? How are we generating power? That is a board decision. But then there's also a variety of strategic directives, and one strategic directive sort of definitely hits home, and that's the environmental strategic directive. And it's currently written to achieve a certain percentage of renewables by a certain date. The utility's on track to hit that goal, but with only focusing on renewable generation in that strategic directive, we're kind of missing the bigger picture of carbon. We're missing the bigger picture of, you know, reduce and encourage efficient use of energy, and really sort of also teeing up what a smart grid looks like and how that would affect our community. And so one of the things that the board's talking about right now ahead of the election is what the language of that strategic directive should really be. And so I think that definitely part of my role on the board in the future could be really making sure that that strategic directive is broad enough so that we can do the things that we want to do with the power generation in Omaha that will make us more resilient, that will make us more energy efficient, and will make the rates remain low. And so I'm really excited about that.
So how do you feel about the campaign? You're about 3 weeks away, right?
Yeah, like 19 days, right? No, November 6th. Yep,
November 6th,
November
sorry,
6th, that's okay. Oh, well, it's on my calendar. There's a big spread circle around it. So it's an open seat, and there were a couple of people that ran for the position, and in the primary there were 2 that kind of surfaced, and me being one of them, and then and my opponent, who has a very different background. So we've been out talking with voters. With my background as an engineer, as a small business owner, that's resonating certainly with voters. But you never know who's going to show up to the polls. Yeah. So we'll wait and see.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today, and congratulations on your award.
Okay, yeah.
And I hope you have a great rest of your conference.
All right. Thank you very much.